Hello everybody, Bob6983 here, and we are back for some more Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. In the last episode, we did the beginning of the game, and that was basically it. It was just picking out our starter, and then just talking a lot, getting a lot of, like, oh, by the way, you could do this, by the way, you could do that, by the way, all this and that. Anyways, before I go ahead and continue, I should tell you what all is in these routes before I continue. So, over here in this area, you can get Poochyena, which is a dark type. It evolves into a dark type Mightyena. Zigzagoon into Linoon, just normal type. And then Wurmple, which can evolve into Silcoon or Cascoon. Silcoon is the one that turns into Beautifly, which is a bug flying type. And then Cascoon is the one which turns into a poison bug type. When it evolves all the way into Dustox, which is a poison bug type, like I said. So me personally, I like using Dustox because even though you can get hit by Earthquake, it doesn't do super effective damage, and quite frankly, it's a really good typing. For those of you who know about Scolipede, it's pretty good. It's just, but this is just on the Dustox. It's less fast. Scolipede, I now understand what y'all are on with the Scolipede game. I understand it's just fire, but Dustox, it's pretty good. I have to say, it gets access to like Silver Wind, Veno Shock, all that sort of stuff. It's pretty good. But Beautifly, it's nothing to sneeze at either. Beautifly it's similar to like Butterfree, but it's just a little weaker than Butterfree. I don't know. Pretty good still nonetheless. Anyways, in this route you can get a Wingull if you if you go through enough encounters. Wingull is a water flying type. It is kind of like Gyarados, except Gyarados is a fish. And Wingull is, a seagull that evolves into a pelican. Wow, we can see it flying up ahead. Ah, dang. The little red icon over here is the Dex Nav. And since it was flying overhead, you can kind of get like a... Let me see if I can replicate it. I don't know. When you go through an area and there's like a Pokemon out on the field, then it gives you like a little blue... oh, damn, they're gone. Whatever. It's like a little blue magnifying glass that you can go ahead and get them scanned. Oh, and also when you click on the Dex Nav down here, it'll give you information about the Pokemon that you're about to catch. If you haven't caught it before, it'll just kind of give you like a silhouette of it, tell you what level it is. The more you encounter it, the more you catch it, the more information it will give you, like, oh, this is what ability it has, or like, oh, this is what move it has. Sometimes it'll be special moves. I believe it's every 15 encounters or so, 15 to 30 encounters. It'll give you one really high-leveled version of that Pokemon. So, like, let's say right now it's level 5. If you encounter it about 15, 30 times, then you will get one that's maybe like level 15 or like level 20. And it'll have like a rare ability or like a rare move, something along those lines to make it a bit more special. But most of the time when you do a Dex Nav on a Pokemon that you haven't caught, most of the time it's just going to be a regular, like, same level as everything else on the route. In this route, you can find Zigzagoon, Poochyena. If you're playing Alpha Sapphire, you get a Lotad. I believe it is a really rare encounter to maybe get Seedot. I might be thinking of Pokemon Emerald. But in Pokemon Omega Ruby, it is a whole lot more common for you to find Seedot here than it is for Lotad. We are not going to talk about Horde encounters just yet. But sometimes in Horde encounters, you can find the one rare Pokemon that is normally not in your area or in your version of the game. So if you don't have access to Seedot, then sometimes you can do that. I will talk about GTS in a few episodes a whole lot later. Not now. We'll cover that when we get to that. But at the moment, we don't have access to that, and we will never have access to that because servers are down. But I'll talk about it in another episode. Anyways, for now, trainer battles, if a trainer sees you and you gotta get into a battle, unless you've already fought that trainer before, which in that case, you won't battle them again. Unless, it says that, oh, you can fight them again. But that's another mechanic we'll get into a whole lot later. Anyways, I didn't finish going over the encounters in this area. So there's Poochyena, Zigzagoon, Lotad if you're playing Alpha Sapphire, C dot if you're playing Omega Ruby. Lotad is preferable, is the preferable type because it evolves into Lombre Ludicolo, which is a water grass type. It is really, really, really good typing. It's weak to flying and poison, I think. I'm not quite sure. It's something like that. But C dot evolves into Nuzleaf and then evolves into Shiftry. But it's a pure grass type. Well, no, Grass Dark, my apologies. Grass Dark is pretty good. This is a Lotad right here. I don't think I'll be using a Lotad though. It would be pretty cool though. What do you have to say? I know you're a bug type trainer. But yeah, that is what C dot evolves into. It is a C dot, then Nuzleaf, and then Shiftry. I used one in my previous playthrough of the game. I for real for a second thought that was a shiny Wurmple, and I was about to be like, what in the heck is going on? But yeah, that is that line. The next few Pokemon that you can encounter on this route are Surskit. It is a rare encounter, I believe maybe like a 5% encounter, something like that. It is a bug type that evolves. It's a bug water type maybe, and then it evolves into a water flying or bug flying. One of the I can't quite remember. I'll put it on the screen since I don't remember. This is a Surskit right here. I can tell by the noise. It makes like that psh, psh kind of noise right here. Pretty good or pretty decent Pokemon. This is, I believe, one of the first Pokemon I ever learned how to build up competitively, even though it's not that good competitively, but you know, it's a starting point. I learned a lot of its moves. I know that it can learn like Air Cutter, all that sort of stuff, and then it can learn Scald. It's a pretty decent Pokemon. If you want a water type and a bug type, and then I guess when it becomes a flying type, and then it gets Intimidate as well, lowers Pokemon's attack stat. It's a pretty decent Pokemon if all things considered. It's just kind of weak. It's like a glass cannon kind of sort of situation. It would be kind of nice to, yeah, screw it. We'll get a Surskit. Why not? Surskits are pretty cool. If I don't, you know, eviscerate it. Fell Stinger, nice. Oh yeah, I guess we're getting a Surskit. This still means I'm gonna have to get another water type though, because I still like this thing, even though it is a water type, I think, since it's a water skeeter, that's what it's based off of. It can't learn Surf or Waterfall or Dive, so we're gonna need another water type, or I guess we could use an HM slave for that. But yeah, nonetheless, I guess we're getting a Surskit. I don't know what led this on, but there we go. The last Pokemon that you can catch on this route, it is a really, really, really rare encounter. Maybe it's like a 1%. I don't remember. I don't remember what percentage it is, but it is a Ralts. You can get Ralts here. I believe this is the only route you can get it. It evolves into Kirlia, and then it evolves, depending on your choice, into either a Gardevoir or a Gallade. Gardevoir is a Psychic Fairy type, and then Gallade is a Psychic Fighting type. Just depending on whichever one you choose, I don't know. Whichever one you like more. But Gallade can only be chosen if you have a male Ralts. So all Gallades could have chosen to be Gardevoirs, but not all Gardevoirs could have chosen to be Gallades. That's kind of the thing there. Anyways, go ahead and give you a new name. What shall we be naming you? I don't know. Let's see, you have, I don't know. We can call you maybe Majora. Yeah, why not? Your evolution turns into like a face on the wings, so it kind of looks like a mask. May as well. True. Random trainer. Did you just become a trainer? We're both beginners. I don't know about we. I'm not speaking French here. I don't know. You got a Sableye shirt on. But yes, that is all the encounters I believe you can find on this route. I don't know which one is the correct pronunciation, but we'll go with route. I don't know. It's just maybe because that's the easier one to say. I probably should be sending out Surskit though to do some fighting, but it is not really, it's not healed up at the moment. It's not doing too hot. Maybe after we get to Petalburg, we will start doing that. But after we get to the Petalburg Woods, switching out for having Pokemon in the front of the party won't really be an issue because we'll get the experience share. And since this is a much later time in the Pokemon franchise, in the Pokemon series, the EXP share is so much more buffed. It is so much more nicer. It's beautiful. We could just have Pokemon in our party, not having to swap them in and out, all that stuff. Oh, you challenged me because you thought you could beat me. Ah, well, I mean, you haven't heard that I'm 100% Himalayan. But yeah, whenever you catch a Pokemon in the route, it'll show them on the bottom of your screen. You can see that there's a tiny little Surskit icon down or over there on the top left, I guess. Whenever you're almost done, I believe, catching everything in the route, or if you can catch everything in the route at that point in time, it'll give you, I think, a gold crown, and then when you catch everything in the route, period, like in the post game, it gives you a silver crown. One of the two. It's like you get a gold one for almost completing it, and then a silver one for completing it. It's something along those lines. Maybe it's platinum. I'm not quite sure. But that is how you know you've caught or you're about to catch everything on the route. What item do you have? You have a honey. I mean, I guess I'll hold on to it, I guess. That's kind of neat. Honey is used for horde encounters. It used to be used for a different reason. You could like slather it on like trees in like previous generations, but that is not what it's used for now. Maybe I'll give you a potion. That way you can actually fight a bit right now. But yeah, for this, you just use honey in wild grass and you'll get a horde encounter, which horde encounter is specific to Generation 6. You get an encounter with 5 wild Pokemon on the field as opposed to just 1. They are usually a whole lot lower leveled than your normal Pokemon. So, yeah. That's usually how it go. Ooh, this is the only move you have. Fell Stinger. It's not too great. Tackle. Ooh, that's not good. The reason I'm saying not good is because Zigzagoon is a normal type, but since Tackle is a normal type attack, it has something called same type attack bonus. For those of you veterans of the Pokemon series, you already know what that does. But if you don't know, same type attack bonus is what it implies. If it's the same type as the Pokemon that's using it, then it gets an attack bonus, a critical hit, of course. Awesome! Your second move out there and you get a crit on the tiny little defenseless water skeeter. Awesome. And here comes a giant fist, Patrick! True. But yeah, that is what same type attack bonus does. It's essentially if it's the same type as the type of your Pokemon, then it gets an attack boost. There are other things that you can that give you attack boost. For example, super effective moves, which if a Pokemon is weak to that certain type of typing, then it will do super effective damage. So that is how you get the most bang for your buck, as it were. Hi May, hey! How's it going? Have you been using your Dex Nav and perfecting your sneaking skills? Yes, we did. Oh, and here comes a giant fish. No, there are Pokemon here that you can scan. Tiny little cutscene. Well, not like cinematic cutscene, but tiny little cutscene nonetheless. Hello, Beautiflies. That is a Beautifly. That is what a Silcoon evolves into. Living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. Those are Beautifly. Yes, they were. Check your Dex Nav. Yeah, we made it to Route 102. Time flies. Oh, look, Petalburg. Yeah, of course. My dad's a gym leader. He's the gym leader. Maybe I should try taking on. You are not ready for that, man. Not yet. Not at all. My dad is completely Himalayan. Him. That was Beautifly. Really? We're talking about mothers now. Interesting. We found a Ralts here. If Surskit was evolved, or not evolved, but alive at the moment, I would absolutely send it out to defeat this Ralts because it's level 3. But let's go ahead and encounter this Ralts, shall we? I guess just to show you what Ralts looks like. Dex nabbing, I guess, is a really good way for you to find these kinds of Pokemon that are a whole lot more rarer on the route. Sometimes they will pop up like that. But I don't really... I mean, I could catch it just to have the namesake of catching it. But I'm not going to use this on the team, unfortunately. I'm sorry to get your hopes up, but no, we're not using it. True, you want to be weakened a little bit. Thank you for using Growl, because that will help me attack you a little bit. Okay. I'm not going to attack you a second time. This liberal's in the way of my tractor. What should I do? Should I run over them? Or should I go around them? I don't know. The price of gas, you know, and all the energy. I'm not going to do that. No, don't want to. That video is awesome. Hi, liberal. Nice haircut. Did you get that haircut from the lib? That's another awesome video. I know nothing about politics, and I prefer to keep it that way. I prefer to keep myself oblivious. There is another word that I'm looking for that describes it more properly, what I choose to be in those situations, but I can't think of it. Ignorant, that's what it is. I choose to be that because, quite frankly, I don't know if I want to be like someone with intellect on that. I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's not really a concern of mine. But perhaps it should be. But I don't know. Right now, I'm like, I choose not to. Synchronize is an interesting ability. Synchronize does two things, I believe. So what it does is, number one, whenever you get hit with a status affliction, be it paralysis, poison, sleeping, or anything like that, it basically does know you onto the opponent. So if you get paralyzed, they also get paralyzed. I believe it's also a chance of it happening. It doesn't happen always. It's just, it has a chance of it happening. And then number two is, depending on what nature you have, I believe it makes it so every, if not almost every encounter that you have, if you have the synchronized Pokemon at the front of your party, whenever you encounter a random Pokemon, it has the exact same nature. So if you're looking for a specific Pokemon that you're hunting to like make it like a competitive Pokemon or something like that, Synchronize helps out. Because when you find the Pokemon you want, you're like, oh damn, now I gotta go change its nature. Like, it becomes easier in later generations with like mints and whatnot. But at this point in time, we do not have that. At least I don't think. So Synchronize is the way to go usually in these generations to get a Pokemon with a specific nature. I've been talking a lot. I barely got over to Petalburg, and I haven't really done much progress. I talked a lot, yeah, it's me, but I haven't really done much progress, and that is my apologies. My apologies. Yeah, we're never getting rid of that. You know, I was surprised that you managed to get here by yourself. I see. You're making a good start on your team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then I guess you're going to become a trainer like me. Maybe. Yeah, that's something to look forward to. Excuse me, I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. Hello, green-haired boy. Wally, of course. Yes. What's this say here with my relatives in barren turf? Well, I thought I might be lonely by myself, so I want to bring a Pokemon. But I've never caught a Pokemon. Yeah. This is your... Oh, we're going to teach you how to catch Pokemon. Tutorial for the game. Even though we've already done that. But yeah, I guess this gives me a bit more time to talk about other things. Hello, Wally. Yeah, I will come with you to go catch yourself a Pokemon. He will always catch himself a Ralt if you don't know. But if you do know, yeah, that's just repeating information you already know. Yeah, there you go. True, big scare, the big fright, the big laugh. I find that hilarious whenever people like online are trying to type out a word and then it just doesn't come out and they're like, fuck it, the big laugh. Or like the big scared or something like that. It's just like, you can think like the vocab is failing if you're like, oh, another word that's similar, but it's not as hard to remember. I'm still kind of laughing about the picture of Garbodor I have on the left hand side. I drew that when I was doing like a thing with one of my friends where we were like, oh yeah, let's draw Pokemon from memory. And we were doing it on like a short period of time. It was like draw it draw it as best as you can and then tell us when you're done kind of thing. But like I also didn't want to keep, you know, the class waiting type shit. So I was trying to do it a bit quickly, and that is what I came up with from memory. That was really fun. I tried doing this with another set of friends, but then they put like a specific timer of like a set amount of time, and I felt very rushed, and I was like, as much as I like this, I don't know, it feels too much. Also, I kind of don't care if the people who I did that with are listening to this when I say this, but I don't mean this in like a rude way or like in an offensive way whatsoever, but when I was doing that with y'all, it was, I don't know, the other person who was drawing alongside with me clearly had much better art than me, or art skills, and it very much felt, I guess, a little demoralizing. And I know like the whole like, oh, you shouldn't compare yourself to others. Yeah, that's true. But when you're drawing for like an hour and a half to 2 hours with the same person, and then like the same, when the results you're getting are like, oh, this is like if like a fifth grader drew this, and then this is like, oh, if I don't know, if Van Gogh was just drawing this on his off day just to have like a little shits and giggles, like it's like the difference was so massive. You know what else is massive? No, it was like so vast that I was like, this is no longer fun. This is, if anything, like a little demoralizing. And like, I know I get it, like the whole like, oh, don't compare yourself. But again, you could say that, but still, either way, it doesn't really help the case of like me feeling that way. It's like something that I talked about with my parents recently as well, or not recently, but like a few months ago, where I was like, they were like, oh yeah, if you want to talk to us about anything, you know, like you can talk to us. But I was also like, at that point in time, I was like, enough time has passed. I'll tell you all right now. I was like, yeah, but the problem is, I know that you all mean well, but whenever I open up to you all, this is not like a bad thing. Like, this is not like I'm hating on you all and like I don't appreciate. No, if anything, I appreciate that you're telling me this. However, whenever I talk with you all about these situations, all I hear from you is, oh, just don't feel like that. Oh, you shouldn't feel like that. That's bad. And it's like, that doesn't help. As much as you think it does help, it doesn't help. And it's like, I tell them, I'm like, I know you're doing your best, and I wholeheartedly appreciate it. No one is saying I don't appreciate it, but it doesn't help me. I'm sorry. It really doesn't. That's kind of the same situation with like what that art thing that I was doing. So like with Group A, it was great. It was fun. We were like having laughs, and it was just awesome. Group 2, it was like, this is making me feel very like self-conscious. I'm like, maybe I'm not too good. So yeah. By the way, this is C-Dot. C-Dot's true. Do be using Harden. Be careful with this C-Dot. I believe it has Bide, which is a move that it's like a 3-turn move. Turn 1 is using Bide. Turn 2 is storing up energy, and then turn 3 is releasing the attack. The more damage it receives during those 3 turns will multiply how much damage it does at the end on turn 3. So be careful with that if you're fighting against this C-Dot. But yeah. Yeah, true, that's what happens with Felstinger. Whenever you defeat an opponent with Felstinger, you get an attack boost. But, Tailo, that's not good. I'm going to swap out to Chocobo. As much as I would love to keep Majora out here, Tailo is a bird. It's a flying type, and flying types are super effective against bugs. So I'm not going to take that risk. I'm sorry. But yeah, I guess we'll finish this battle, and then I guess we'll be done. I'm sorry I really didn't get that far. I should have gotten a whole lot more farther than this. And yeah, that's entirely my bad. I really wanted to cover everything I possibly could. By the way, you can find Talo in this route that I'm on right now in the grass. I believe you can also find Merrill. That might be Emerald only though. But I've never seen Merrill in this area or in Emerald. Maybe I've just had bad luck, but I'm pretty sure you can find Merrill in this grass as well. So it's Talo and Merrill, I believe, are the new encounters. And if you can't find Merrill here, then I will tell you the other route where you can find Merrill early on. I personally don't like Merrill, but that's just me personally. I don't know. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Next time on Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, we will be continuing through Petalburg Woods and hopefully being able to finally level up Majora a whole lot more, because so far it's not looking too hot. Level 5 compared to level 9, we're not doing too hot. So until next time, I guess see you all then.